Hello students, in earlier class we have seen how to conduct the tensile test on a mild steel specimen. I have shown you this is a mild steel specimen. So this is gripped at the ends and subjected to tension. So we are going to read here load versus deflection so that I can calculate stress versus strain. So the various calculations that we will be doing under this tensile testing machine will see in form of a problem here. Now here this is the problem. A mild steel specimen is subjected to a tensile test. Length of the specimen is 300 mm. Diameter of the specimen is 25 mm, original diameter. Then extension under a load of 20 kilonewton. So when 20 kilonewton load is acting, the extension is 0.048 mm. Elastic load is 48 kilonewton. Yield load is 128 kilonewton. Maximum load is 208 kilonewton and the failure length is 375. Neck diameter is 17.75 mm. When it breaks, the diameter gets reduced and you are required to find out Young's modulus. Stress by strain, you are required to find out elastic stress, yield stress, ultimate stress, percentage elongation and percentage reduction is the cross-sectional area. And he has given you to find out the safe stress with a factor of safety of 2. So one by one we will be doing the calculations. We will go for first Young's modulus. Now see here, now this is elastic load 48 kilonewton and this is the extension under the load of 20 kilonewton. So this 20 kilonewton is less than 48, elastic. So up to 48 it is an elastic material. So stress is proportional to strain. So stress by strain is Young's modulus. So we will find out the stress at this load and you know the corresponding deformation, you will get the strain. So stress by strain will give you the Young's modulus. Then our calculations will begin. So first we will find out the original area. It is a circular cross section. A is equal to pi by 4 into d square. So this is equal to pi by 4 into the original diameter is 25 mm. If you simplify this, you get the area as 490.88 mm square. 498. So at 20 kilonewton load, this one stress is given by 20. It is in kilonewton, converted in newton, divided by 490.88. If you simplify this, you get the stress as 40.74 newton per mm square. Then we will go for strain. So strain, it is change in length by original length. We know the change in length is 0.048 and the original length of the member is 300 mm. 300 mm. If you simplify this, you get strain will be equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 4. It has got no unit. So now I can find out Young's modulus. Young's modulus. E, it is given by stress by strain. So we know the stress is 40 newton, 40.74 and strain is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So you get the modulus of elasticity is 2.546 into 10 to the power of 5 newton per mm square. So usually the range is 2 into 10 to the power of 5 newton per mm square for mild steel bar. Then he has asked elastic stress. So stress at elastic limit. So this will be load at elastic limit by the cross-sectional area. What is the load at elastic limit? This is 48 kilonewton. So 48 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by area is 490.88. So if you simplify, the value of elastic stress is 97.78 newton per mm square. Next we will go for yield stress. Yield stress, sigma y. This is nothing but yield load by the cross section area. Yielding load he has given as 128 kilonewton convert it in Newton, divided by 490.88 is the cross sectional area. You get the yield stress is 260.76 Newton per mm square. So this is the yield stress. Then let's go for the next one is ultimate stress. For ultimate stress, sigma u, that is given by ultimate load by the area. Ultimate load he has given is maximum load, so that is 208 into 10 to the power 3 divided by area is 490.88. So this ultimate load will be equal to, ultimate stress will be equal to 423.73 Newton per mm square. Then he has given the failure length. So he has asked you what is the percentage of elongation. The length of the member will be increasing when you are subjected to tensile load. So percentage elongation will be original length, final length minus the original length. Final length minus original length divided by, we are comparing it with the original length, so this is original length. So we compare the length with the original length. Final length is greater than the original length, so this extension or the final length, failure length is 375. Original length of the member is 300 mm divided by 300 into 100. So we always write in terms of percentage here. So the percentage elongation you find is 24.67 percentage. And finally he has asked what is the change in the cross sectional area, percentage change in the area, percentage reduction of cross sectional area. You see that there is a decrease in the diameter, so there will be percentage reduction of the cross sectional area. So this is the original cross section whose diameter is given to us 25 mm. So when it has broken, the diameter has decreased, and that diameter is 17.55 mm. So this will be equal to original area minus final area, because final area is less than the original area. We are comparing with the original area, so this is to be multiplied by 100. So this will be equal to pi by 4 into d square minus pi by 4 into d1 square divided by pi by 4 into d square. So if you simplify, pi by 4 gets cancelled here, d square minus d1 square by d square. So d is original diameter 25 square minus final diameter is 17.75 square divided by 25 square into 100. So it is in terms of percentage. You get the percentage as 49.59%. Almost 50% is the reduction in the cross sectional area. So this type of problem is sometimes asked in the examination based upon the tensile test of the machine. See now here, if you see to any member, this member has got its own weight. So there will be extension of the member due to its own weight. So today we will see what will be the deflection of the body or the extension of the body due to self weight. Extension due to self weight. we are not applying any external load. Due to self weight only it will be extending. So here I will directly give you the formula. The extension is given by W L square divided by 2E, or W into L divided by 2E. So this is a derived formula, so you can see it in the book. So now here this is the extension due to the self weight. Now we come across problems on composite cross section. Composite cross section. So in your lower semester you have studied free body diagram. Suppose if I take a body, another body subjected to load P and P here. This is component 1, this is component 2. If I separate out certain portion of the body, A for one example, this has got a load here. Then to draw the free body diagram, on the other face there will be the resistance offered by the cross section. Let this be R. So that this P will be equal, opposite and collinear to R. So the system will be in equilibrium. Such a body which is separated from the surface of contact and the surface of contact replaced by a reaction, we call, and the body is in equilibrium, we call such a body as free body diagram. So here this principle we are going to use, free body diagram principle, in solving the problems. So we will come across composite sections. Composite or compound sections. Composite or compound sections. Suppose if this is a member, if it is subjected to load, from this end to this end the cross section area remains the same. This is uniform cross section. Suppose if I take a bar like this, and if I subject it to load along the axis. Now if you compare this figure and this figure, at any point the load remains the same. From one end to another end the load remains same. Now here also at any section the load remains same from one end to the other end. If you cut the cross section, it is a uniform cross section, but if you cut it here, here and here, the cross section is different, and we know stress is given by load by area. So what will happen in such a member, the stress goes on changing because the cross section area is changing. Likewise, when stress changes, definitely strain is also going to change. So in such problems you are required to find out what will be the total elongation of the portion 1, 2 and 3 if it is subjected to load. So here we will be considering each portion separately, drawing its free body diagram and try to find out the total elongation. And we know the deflection of a member due to an axial load is given by PL by AE. So we are using this formula in analyzing such problem. So let us take a simple case here. Let this be D1 diameter, let this be D2 diameter, let this be D3 diameter, or I can call it as area A1, area A2, area A3. Let this length be L1, this length be L2 and this length be L3. L1, L2, L3. Let E be the Young's modulus of all the portions 1, 2 and 3. So if I consider each portion separately, so you will get stress in 1 will is equal to P by A1. Stress in 2 will be equal to P by A2. Stress in 3 will be equal to P by A3. P is same for all the cross sections. Right? Now we will try to use the formula for deformation. Total deformation that will be taking place will be deformation of first portion plus deformation of second portion plus deformation of third portion, delta L3. And we know this is given by deflection is given by PL by AE. P is same, L is different, A is different, E is same. If the material is same, Young's modulus remains the same. So plus P L2 by A2E plus P L3 A3E. So here P by E is common here. P by E. So L1 by A1 plus L2 by A2 plus L3 by A3. So this is how we will come to know what is the total deformation that is taking place. Or I can write this formula in other way also, keeping 1 by E outside. If I take P inside, stress by P is the load by area will be stress. So this will be equal to sigma 1, left out is L1, sigma 1 L1 plus, if I take P inside, P by A2 will be stress sigma 2 and left out is L2 plus sigma 3 into L3. You can use this formula, or if stress is given to you, you can use this formula. So this is the way you can find out the total deformation of the member composite bar if only one load is given to you. So we'll take up a simple example here, how to determine the total elongation of the member with a simple example. So this member is subjected to a uniform load. Suppose the diameter of this is 30 mm, die is represented by 5. If this is 20 mm 20 mm diameter, and this is say 35 mm diameter. If length of this member is 180 mm, length of the second member is 260 mm, and length of the third member is 160 mm. So you are required to find out the total deformation of this bar. Total deformation of the bar. So you find there are three portions, 1, 2 and 3. So deformation of this plus deformation of this plus deformation of this. It is subject to tensile force, so definitely there will be elongation in all the three components. So here if I write the values, delta L is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. So this we have seen, P is same, Young's modulus is same. If I take Young's modulus in this problem as 200 GPa, gigapascal, GPa. So P by E is constant there, just now we have seen. So left out is L1 by A1 plus L2 by A2 plus L3 by A3. So you can find out the area separately. A1 is pi by 4 into D is 30 into 30 square. So you get A1 as so let me substitute directly here. So this will be equal to P. What is the load acting? 40 kilonewton. Convert it in Newton. Now remember here, this E is given to us 200 GPa. We are using the value in terms of Newton per mm square. So very simple way, I will tell you how to convert it in Newton per mm square. Whatever value is there, you write it. Just multiplied by 10 raised to 3, it will be Newton per mm square. Or you can remember 1 GPa is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton per mm square. Just multiply that value by 10 raised to 3, that will be Newton per mm square. So if I substitute that here, 200 into 10 to the power of 3 into L1 is 180 divided by A1 is pi by 4 into 30 square plus L2 is 260 divided by pi by 4 into diameter is 20 square plus next is L1 is 160 divided by pi by 4 into 35 square. Or you can separately find out A1 and A2, A3 and substitute here. If you simplify this, you get the total elongation as 0.292497 mm. It is positive, means it is extension, elongation or extension. So this is the way you will be handling with the composite sections. Now the thing what we are seeing here is, in all the three portions the load acting is same, so there will be no change for you. There is another category of problem wherein loads will be different at different sections. You will have to find out the net deformation of the member. Now see here, in this problem, same, I can twist it. I can ask you this diameter. I will give you the stress. Another way, I'll ask you this diameter and give you the stress. Once you know the stress, it is given by load by area. You know the load area will be in terms of diameter square. You can find out the diameter of the bar. Or if this diameter is given, I want to know the length of this member, for example, x if I call. So here, in this problem, I am asking what is the length of this bar. Or I can ask you what is length of this bar, or what is length of this bar. But the condition what I will be giving is total deformation is this much. So you will be knowing the total deformation. Suppose if I am asking you this LT will be in terms of x. Left side is known to you, only unknown here is x. You will have to determine the value of x. Now if this is x, there you will have, you know this length, you know this length. You will have to find out the distance x here, provided if I give you the total deformation. So these are the varieties you can see, or the twist that you can see. But the method remains the same. What is given, you try to take use of that, and what is asked, you will have to do that. Please subscribe for the channel, comment for questions in the comment section, press the bell icon for notification. We will continue. Thank you.